Hi, welcome to today's live on a certain translation subject. So, today we're going to talk about the 7 problems a good translator can solve for a consumer products company or an e commerce company. So, again, Guten Tag is Dutch. 7 problems a good translator can solve for a consumer products or an e commerce company. Hi, I'm Wendy Pease from Rapport International, where we connect you to anyone, anywhere in the world through high quality translations in over 200 languages. If you notice me looking down, please excuse me for today. My hard drive bit the dust last week. It's still under warranty, so I'm working off a laptop and getting used to where the different camera is. So every Thursday I do go live at 11:30 a.m. East Coast time to discuss translation needs and questions, cultural fun facts, and global marketing. So thanks for joining today. And if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. I'll answer them at the end. And if you're here, put in a comment telling me that you're here and where you are located in the world today. All right, so 7 problems a good translator can solve for a consumer products or e-commerce company. Number 1, a good translator can help you increase revenues. Why? Because you have the ability to connect with more consumers. Consumer purchasing habits are based on emotion. And if you're not talking to somebody in their native language, you're not connecting with them. So find a good translator and you're going to increase your revenue. It also expands the markets that you can sell into. So if you translate for Spanish in Mexico, you're also going to be able to expand in to other Spanish speaking countries because online people are finding you. And then when you build customers in those locations, you might even be able to physically expand into those neighborhoods and increase your sales there. So this is number 3. It improves your global credibility. If you've got people going to your website and they're seeing that you don't have good translation, they're leaving. And so that hurts you with Google search because they see a lot of people come and leave and come and leave. And so you want to come and have them stay and navigate around, and then you'll show up in search engines more. Or if you're selling on any of the platforms like Amazon or Shopify, people are going to be more apt to buy your products because they can actually read what it's about. Number 4, a good translator can help you expand your domestic market. Now, that sounds kind of odd because you think of a translator for going to another country. But if I look at just here in the United States, people who speak Spanish or Russian or Haitian Creole or Ukrainian or any of the other languages, if you're translating into that language and they live in the United States, they're going to be apt to find you and more likely to buy because you've given them a welcome to come into your site because the language is familiar to them. There's huge potential for non-English speaking markets in the US and in other countries around the world because of how people move and settle, and they want to retain their native language and culture. So it can expand your domestic market. Number 5, a good translator can take pressure off of your bilingual employees or all those friends and family that you're asking to do translation. People who are bilingual in companies often are asked, hey, can you just translate this? So not only do they have their own job, they're asked to do a whole other job by doing translation too. And people who don't do translation on a regular basis don't know how long it can take. We have a formula that says it takes about the same amount of time to translate something as it does to write something. So you just wouldn't hand something off to an employee who can write well and say, hey, can you just write something up about this if that's not part of their job, because you know it's going to take some time. And besides all that, your bilingual employees and your friends and families aren't professionally trained translators. So they're not going to know the nuances of language. On a podcast episode, we were talking about this yesterday, that a cabinet maker is somebody who makes cabinets. And in English, we know what that is. But in Russia, the direct translation is a furniture maker. And so that's very broad. And that furniture cabinet is a different translation to make sure it's culturally appropriate. People who are not translators don't know that. So take the pressure off your bilingual employees or your friends and family and get a professional to do it. Number 6, it improves communication between the company and your buyers, your clients and customers. And that helps with retention. An industry think tank did a survey and found out that if you don't provide after sales support to your customers, 76% of them are going to leave and not come back to you. You've done all this work to gain your customers. Now provide information so you retain them and build your business. And number 7, the final way or final problem that a good translator can solve for a consumer products e-commerce company is it decreases your risk of cultural, nonsensical, or insensitive material being sold to people of other cultures. We call this cultural adaptation at Rapport International. You can take content, you can pop it into Google Translate, you can give it to somebody who doesn't understand the culture, and there's a good chance they're going to come back with something that doesn't make sense or it's culturally inappropriate. As part of the translations that we provide at Rapport International, we are making sure that your translations make sense and connect with your target audience. So those are the 7 problems a good translator can solve for your consumer products company. If you'd like to know more, follow Rapport International on YouTube. We have plenty of other videos, and you can learn a ton more of information on practicalities of translation. Thanks so much for joining today. Let's see, Lou, do we have any questions? Okay, so here's one. How do we go about getting a good translation? Well, it starts with watching the next video, and that will be on looking for what's your strategy, what are you trying to accomplish, what technology are you using, what process do you use, and what quality do you need. And so we'll answer the rest of the questions right on the platform where you are. Thanks so much for showing up today, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, or you can keep watching. And don't miss out on new posts by subscribing to our channel. And if you want to talk to Rapport International about all your translation and interpretation needs or about growing your business into new markets, use the link below for a free 30-minute consultation.